Let me talk to you about what happens in the air with FedEx. Okay, this is a shipping guide for you to have a clear idea about everything you need to know when it comes to small business shipping. Okay, so let me first talk to you about international air freight through FedEx. So FedEx International Air Freight Shipping actually gives you access to global markets and helps you expand your business with FedEx International Air Freight Shipping offers. So let's first define what international air freight shipping really is for your small business, okay? International air freight shipping allows you to import and export shipments weighing more than 150 pounds, 150 pounds. So with FedEx International Service options, the cool thing is that you can ship to up to 130 countries and territories and get definite delivery. Plus, even when there is compression on market capacity, let's say in international shipping lanes, for instance, during COVID, basically FedEx will make an effort to maintain capacity with a focus on Asia Pacific and European Union countries and territories. So that's kind of cool. So when you ship with FedEx International Air Freight Services, you get delivery in 1 to 5 business days to most major world markets and territories. You have reliable services and easy to use tools for end-to-end visibility and tracking. So that's kind of cool from a flexibility point of view. It gives you a lot of traceability in your supply chain, and you have competitive rate quotes within an hour. Okay, and you have assistance from the FedEx team of freight customer service experts. So that's kind of cool. You have a lot of flexibility there. So let me give you a few details about FedEx International Air Freight delivery. I'm going to put this on the screen so you can really, take your time to really look at it. So you have a FedEx International Priority Freights, FedEx International Economy Freights, and FedEx International Deferred Freights. So you have delivery time. So typically 1 to 3 business days for priority, all the way to 5 to 10 days for international deferred freights. Okay, so that's kind of gives you an idea. So you have I'm going to show this on the screen. So you have the differences between export and import. So you can choose which one works for you. So if you think about actually having a conversation with FedEx in the air, you want to have a clear idea about whether you want to import or whether you want to export. And you also want to look at the territories that FedEx is actually delivering to, right? Because maximum 130 countries, and there are some countries that are not on the list. So let me talk to you about the service details, packaging guidelines, and other options for shipping global air freight. So if you want air freight through FedEx, of course. So FedEx Air Freight Services actually give you a variety of features based on whether you select priority, economy, or deferred shipping options. If you remember a little earlier, I gave you the table for those three for this trifecta. Okay, so the features may include service details, packaging guidelines, and also there are optional tools and resources. So when you think about service details with FedEx in the air, you have date definite delivery. You have shipments that are delivered Monday through Friday. So Saturday delivery is actually available in countries where Saturday is actually considered a regular business day. And pickup, line haul, and customs clearance are included with the service cost. So you can choose, for instance, to have FedEx brokers handle customs clearance. You can have FedEx arrange pickup and delivery at the airport, or you can take care of those services on your own through the customs broker of your choice. So that's kind of cool. And you can use the FedEx Expanded Service International Air Waybill if you use paper air waybills. And so if you actually need advanced confirmation required, you want to use FedEx Ship Manager, okay? Or you can just call 1-800-332-0807. So that gives you some kind of peace of mind for what's really going to happen. So you are able to book space by calling that number. What about packaging guidelines? So you have individual skates must weigh 151 pounds or more. So the total shipment weight is unlimited. Skids that weigh more than 2,200 pounds are the default weight limit for the specific lane. Basically, they will require prior approval. Okay, freight must be palletized, stackable, fork liftable, and shrink wrapped and or branded to a skid. Individual pieces over 150 pounds must be bended to the pallet with either metal strapping or unbreakable plastic straps that are applied around the box or skid on all sides. So that's kind of cool. And hardened containers, let's say plywood, metal, that are not bended, must have an exterior lock or clamp. Glue, nails, and screws are not sufficient. Okay, so be very careful there. And what about optional tools and resources? Well, the thing is, you are able to get Saturday pickup and delivery in select destinations and major markets. You can designate a custom broker other than FedEx with FedEx International Broker Select. You can transmit your customs document electronically to FedEx electronic trade documents. You can get the tools and answers you need to help make your returns process easier with FedEx Global Returns. You can monitor, that's really good. You can monitor your shipments in real time with Sense Aware, which is really a contractual service. That's kind of cool. And you can use FedEx Supply Chain for help with a complex supply chain and with shipping high value products. You can also get up to date job aids and checklist for shipping dangerous or hazmats, okay, hazardous goods. So when it comes to being in the air with FedEx, there are other options to get air freight quote, especially if you are interested in having like a voluminous, like you want to have a volume shipment. So you want to use the FedEx Great Rates hotline to access last minute savings for exports and imports weighing less than 250 pounds. Okay, 250 pounds, that's actually the threshold here. And you want to use the FedEx rating tool. It's actually easy, and you don't need to have an account. So that kind of so you want to really avail yourself of the resources that FedEx has for your business. Okay, and you want to understand that freight shipping costs are affected by factors like the shipment's origin and destination, surcharges, changes in currency, duties and taxes, as well as discounts. Okay, and so you are able to save money if you have an account with FedEx. By the way, you don't have to have an account, but you will save money if you go with an account. Okay, so you are able to, for instance, to track your international freight shipment online. You can actually like basically schedule an international freight pickup. That's kind of cool, and you can find the right FedEx freight center. Okay, and that's kind of cool. So that gives you a lot of flexibility to plan your supply chain. Now, international freight shipping actually refers once again to imported or exported shipments that weigh more than 150 pounds. Okay, so basically, FedEx freight service options, in other words, FedEx International Priority Freight and FedEx International Economy Freight, deliver to most major world markets in 1 to 5 business days. And with FedEx International Deferred Freight, it typically takes somewhere from 5 to 10 business days. So just keep that in mind as you really navigate the FedEx freight process. Okay. And one thing I want to say also is that you always have the opportunity to contact FedEx for more information. So let me talk to you about air freight forwarding. So if you think about being in the air with FedEx, air freight forwarding is going to be critical for you. Let me explain why. Basically, FedEx International Air Freight Forwarding is kind of critical for small businesses because the services offer speed, simplicity, and seamless distribution for businesses seeking reliable global logistics solutions. So the cool thing here is that you have air freight forwarding services that really are applicable to your business. You have cargo insurance arrangements. You have impacts on air freight cost. And finally, you have also the availability of customer service. Okay. Now, what can you expect when you ship international air freight with FedEx? Well, you have speed, simplicity, and seamless distribution, right? So, with several delivery speeds to choose from, reliable service options from multiple carriers, and a single point of contact from start to finish, FedEx actually has a freight forwarding expertise that can help your business actually take flight. Okay, you have reliable freight shipping options, personalized service from experts, who are local to and familiar with global markets. Streamline custom clearance with custom brokerage included on many services, and you have end-to-end support and service. You also have a FedEx freight forwarding service benefits. You have flexible carrier options, access to FedEx, multiple gateway options, various delivery options, so airport to airport, airport to door, door to airport, and door to door, among others. You have a consolidation, palletization, and direct to consignee service, among others. And you also have split billing. So you're able to actually get control of your global shipment data, okay? Because FedEx gives you the possibility to have it in a streamlined manner, and so that's really important. You can access the shipment info that you need more easily with FedEx's online visibility tool, My Global Trade Data. So you can get tracking, reporting, and up to 5 years of documentation. So if you are thinking about being in the air with FedEx, if you need air freight services, it's one of those things where you want to really make sure that you have a clear idea of what you need exactly. So you just want to tell FedEx your cargo, its destination, and the delivery speed you need. And their freight experts can recommend a solution to get your freight moving big time, okay? So you have air freights with direct distribution. You have air charters. You have also some factors that impact the air freight cost. So when you think about air freight with direct distribution, basically you have consolidation pickup points in Asia, Europe, and select locations in Latin America. You have available for door-to-door multiple destination delivery addresses in the US. And you have final delivery via FedEx Express, FedEx Ground, FedEx Home Delivery, FedEx Freight, or FedEx Custom Critical. So you have a lot of possibilities to actually think about if you are thinking about being in the air with FedEx. What about air charters? Well, if you need to send an urgent or emergency shipment, FedEx air charters might be the right choice for you, okay? So what happens here is that you have speed. So within 48 hours of your request, you will get a proposed solution from FedEx. So this is kind of cool for imports and exports between North America, Asia, Europe, the Middle East, Africa, and Latin America. If you're shipping less than 5,000 kilos of air freight a month or 60,000 kilos a year, FedEx International Air Freight shipping might actually be right for you. So what can affect actually the freight costs? Well, space on passenger or carrier airlines. Your shipment is extremely heavy. You are shipping commodities that are complicated to import. There are multiple participating government agencies involved. You are shipping something that requires special handling like temperature control, and your shipment actually is critical and needs to go on the next aircraft available. You choose additional services like customs brokerage or final mile shipping. Costs can be lower if you are shipping via popular routes. You are shipping high volumes and quality for a volume discount, and you are using multiple FedEx services and qualify actually for a discount. Also, you got to really ask yourself, do you need cargo insurance? So no matter what mode of transport you choose for your shipment, you are taking a risk, right? So when you are shipping air freight, damage can happen during turbulence, rough landings, loading and unloading, and more. Make sure your air freight and your business are covered in case of physical loss and damage, financial impact of carrier liability limits on claims, general average risks, natural disaster, war risk, including terrorism. Everything can always happen, okay? You just never know. And you also want to simplify the insurance process, okay? You want to bypass legwork, predict cost, and reduce paperwork by going through FedEx. So if you are thinking about FedEx in the air, you want to also think about expedite services. So besides international air freight forwarding, you also got to think about expedite services. Let me explain. So you have, when it comes to FedEx expedite network services, when ground transportation or conventional air freight cannot meet your critical deadline, you can turn to an air expedite network. So FedEx Custom Critical vehicles provide pickups and deliveries, and FedEx Express handles actually the air transportation on most shipments, okay? So you have next AM. So later cutoffs with the earliest next morning deliveries with service to remote and outlying regions. So that's kind of cool. You also have, if you go with FedEx Air Expedite, you have Saturday deliveries of heavyweight freight are also available for locations not served by FedEx Express Freight. And you even have more options depending on what you're looking for. So if you miss your regular air freight carriers, even in cutoff time, you are able to go with FedEx right away. Don't that's the thing. Don't actually wait if you don't want to wait for 24 hours. You do not want to wait 24 hours. If you need something delivered during the second shifts, no problem. Air Expedite Network can utilize daytime flights to actually deliver within 24 hours of your call. So that really gives you a lot of speed, a lot of tranquility, a lot of assurance. Okay. You have international services. So Air Expedite gets your critical freight from point A to point B on time worldwide, including overnight freight deliveries to and from Mexico. You also have temperature control services. So a variety of services for freight that must actually stay within a desired temperature range during transport. So they'll take care of that. FedEx will take care of it, not a problem. So this suite includes FedEx validated services featuring hard copy temperature documentation. So because the on-time delivery of your shipment is so important, Air Expedite customer service agents continuously monitor your freight every step of the way. And if you want to know your shipment status, Air Expedite can notify you via phone or email. So that's kind of cool. Now, if you need more info or to arrange for your premium air freight shipment, you want to call a number. I'm going to put this number on the screen here. So 1-844-850-6679. Finally, I want to talk to you about global air freight. So if you think about being in the air with FedEx, you will be interested in knowing what the global air freight actually service is really all about. Okay. So when you think about global air freight, I want you to think about your air heavyweight freight point to point. So the benefits here is that you have coverage within the main cities in the United States, Canada, Argentina, Brazil, Chile, okay, Colombia, Peru, and Dominican Republic, as well as in 27 European countries, plus India, Japan, Taiwan, Thailand, and Australia in Asia Pacific. So you have some kind of coverage. Maybe not the whole world, but you still have something. You have 24-hour visibility through FedEx dedicated specialist control tower and automation tools. You have customs clearance that's actually included. And through FedEx International Broker Select option, you can actually designate your own customs broker. So that's kind of cool. You have a competitive rates with no additional charges. Okay. So the cool thing is pelletized shipments with maximum dimensions of 137 by 137 centimeters to 198 centimeters. So you're looking at 54 by 54 by 78 inches and a maximum weight of 68 kilos. So you're looking at 151 pounds. Now, heavier shipments or with greater dimensions are actually subject to revisions. Okay, so you do have 4 delivery options if you think about that, and I'll be showing you this. So the delivery options are actually pretty straightforward. So you have on the screen here, you have door to airport DTA, airport to airport ATA. You have airport to door ATD, and door to door DTD. Okay. And so let me talk to you about the countries, the world countries that FedEx covers. I will put this on the screen. I'll leave it on the screen for a while. So here are the countries that they actually cover in Europe, in America, in Asia. So you can see that they do not cover the whole world. I mean, they don't cover Africa, for instance. Okay, they cover Europe. Here are the countries. In terms of America, they are in the States, Canada, Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Peru, and Dominican Republic. And this is for Asia, the countries that they cover. So in conclusion, in the air with FedEx, I spoke to you about international air freight forwarding, expedite services, global air freight, and now the conclusion. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.